Let's jump right into something I know we all grapple with: planning our days. Now, you're probably thinking, great, another system for making a to-do list. But we're going to set up a totally different premise in this explainer because, honestly, the way we traditionally plan our days is fundamentally broken.
I mean, think about it. Why does your daily plan almost always break by noon? We've all felt that struggle, right? You have this beautifully crafted to-do list, and it gets entirely derailed by literally one unexpected email. It happens because we treat the day like a fixed container. But your day isn't a locked box. It's a moving system that's constantly being edited by reality.
Think of traditional planning like using a paper map. Sure, it shows you where the streets are, but it definitely can't tell you if a lane is suddenly blocked by construction. And this is exactly where AI changes the game. It acts like a local guide. It doesn't just hold a static list. It interprets the live situation and recalculates the absolute fastest route in a constantly changing environment.
So here's our core anchor idea. AI is most useful in day planning when it acts less like a task writer and a lot more like a thinking partner. We really have to shift our mindset here. We need to move away from this desperate need for rigid control and move toward a mindset of flexible navigation.
To really grasp this, we kind of have to rethink what planning actually is. At its core, planning is simply decision-making under limits. Your day is packed with competing demands for limited time and energy. It's exactly like trying to cook dinner for your family from a half-empty fridge. You can't just pick any gourmet recipe out of thin air. You have to make smart choices based on the ingredients and time you actually have in front of you.
And this brings us to a super critical distinction: priority versus urgency. Imagine sitting at a desk with 5 ringing phones. The loudest phone isn't automatically the most important one to answer, right? Urgency is just loud. Priority, on the other hand, is what holds the highest value for your entire day. A true AI thinking partner helps you screen those calls so you can pinpoint the actual priority. Once you know your priorities, you start to realize that good plans are sequences, not piles. A pile is just a messy, overwhelming collection of raw tasks. But a sequence? Think of making a perfect cup of chai. You don't just dump water, tea leaves, and milk into a mug all at once. There's a specific, necessary order. Each step unlocks the next and completely reduces the friction. And look, plans fail the moment they ignore reality. We all love to plan for our ideal day. You know, that mythical Tuesday where we have boundless energy and literally zero interruptions. But trying to live that day is like trying to pack a suitcase with your entire wardrobe without considering its actual physical size. A realistic plan is shaped by the absolute truth of your actual day, your actual fatigue, and your actual time limits.
Because reality shifts constantly, your plan simply has to stay editable. Imagine a tent flexing gracefully in the wind. It holds its shape because it has tension, but it adapts to the gusts. A rigid brick wall, on the other hand, it just snaps under pressure. AI helps your daily plan act exactly like that tent, allowing you to rethink on the fly, not just pre-think in the morning.
So how does this partnership actually play out? Well, as incoming tasks appear, your resources dwindle, and reality inevitably shifts. This is where AI steps in. It helps us reason through the trade-offs, figure out the sequencing, and adapt inside this moving day. It doesn't magically make planning automatic, but it definitely makes it clearer.
Okay, so how do we put this into practice? We transition to a concrete, daily operating system that has 3 distinct jobs: make sense, choose, and adjust. These aren't just your standard productivity tricks. These are the specific jobs AI helps you perform to keep your day completely usable. Let's break them down. The first job is to make sense. Think of AI acting like a master chef, prepping scattered ingredients on a kitchen counter. It takes your raw, scattered mental fragments and turns them into a navigable map. It helps you objectively identify what you must do, should do, could do, and, crucially, what unknowns need to be clarified before you can even begin.
And within making sense, there is this hidden, vital job: separating signal from noise. When your day feels completely overwhelming, it's usually just a filtering problem. AI helps you separate the true signal, the tasks and constraints that actually shape your outcomes, from those noisy, emotionally urgent distractions that don't actually move the needle at all.
Once things actually make sense, we move to the second job: choose. This is where your AI partner helps create a sequence to eliminate friction. It's exactly like sorting the parts before you assemble flat-pack furniture. First, you reduce ambiguity. Then, you tackle the work that depends on other things being done. Finally, you fit the smaller items into the remaining gaps. The tasks didn't magically disappear. They just stopped fighting each other for your attention.
Finally, we have to adjust. If a meeting runs an hour long, the question isn't, well, did my day fail?
Instead, we need to ask, okay, what changed and what still matters right now? Planning isn't a single, fragile event that happens at 8 a.m. It's a continuous chain of decisions.
Imagine a small business owner who is just absolutely overwhelmed with supplier calls and payment issues. Instead of staring at a chaotic list of chores, AI reveals the true shape of the day by highlighting dependencies. It might show that the payment issue is the actual bottleneck, and that one specific supplier call will unlock tomorrow's work. Suddenly, all that chaos has a very clear shape.
Reaching this point requires a pretty profound mindset shift. You have to stop expecting perfect control. You have to stop treating every single task as equal, and you definitely have to stop using AI merely as a glorified writing machine. When you embrace this, you completely transform from a reactive, overwhelmed user into a true calm operator.
Ultimately, the goal is not a day with zero surprises, because let's face it, that day simply does not exist. The goal is a day you can keep making sense of. This mental model transforms you into someone who reads the rhythm of the day and works with it seamlessly, rather than constantly fighting against the current.
I'll leave you with one final thought to chew on. Are you using AI to try and rigidly control your day, or are you using it to stay clear and focused inside the day? Think about how you'll utilize your new thinking partner tomorrow morning. Thanks for joining me for this explainer, and I'll catch you next time.